Welcome back, everybody, to another tier list. Today, I have got Marvel Snap community member August here to help me rank all of the Series 4 cards in Marvel Snap and whether or not you should buy them and how good they are. August, who are you?
Hey, how's it going? So I'm August. I am like probably one of the newest official Marvel Snap content creators. I'm usually around in Discord, but I've been doing a lot of articles with Snap.fan, and I've launched my own channel on YouTube. So right now it's August Turn Zero, where I do like a weekly podcast where I just drive home from work and ramble about Marvel Snap. Um, Usually kind of land myself within like the top 1,000 to 2,000 rank after Hidden Infinite. So just here, happy to rank some cards.
All right, let's get right into it. I know you don't want to hear the yapping. Let's start with Agony. So, Agony 1-3 merges into the next card you play at that location. And I think this is a must buy. And I don't think
Easily.
you're going to disagree here. Agony is one of the strongest cards in the game. It has synergies with some of the strongest cards in the game. It's in pretty much every single Shao Lao deck. It is in every single Maverick deck. It is in a ton of Nimrod decks now because of the synergy that it has with all those cards. It is an extremely strong card. And in my opinion, you can make a reasonable argument that it's the best one cost card in the entire game.
Yeah, I see that. I use it mostly in like V hand these days still, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a unit. It does everything you want it to. Not taking up board space, but still pumping up your guys is huge right now.
Yeah, board space is a very big resource in Snap, and having a 1-3 that doesn't take up any of that is extremely strong, especially one that scales with good effects like Maverick and also good copy effects like Frigga, as we saw in the V-Hand deck. Now let's talk about Airwalker. So, this was at one point one of the worst cards in the game. In that small period between 4 cost Morgan getting moved to 3 cost and pre release of Phantom X with Phantom X in the game now and being, by all measures, a decent card, I think Airwalker has got to go in mediocre. What do you think about that?
I I don't want to say it's a bad card, but I do agree with mediocre. Like I think Airwalker is the kind of card that will surprise us and be better later once they make like another 4 cost that you need to get on the board. The Phantom X stuff has been like a little interesting, but nothing that I'd really, rush out to do. So I think mediocre kind of fits exactly this.
Yeah, I think it's kind of those cards that like you can play them. Like they're more than playable. They're playable,
Fine,
but
but
they're
yeah.
not like I can't go out of my way and say this is an actively good thing to do in this specific deck or this is in specifically just good card. What do you think about Annihilus now? Once one of the best cards in the game, now is
Ah,
kind of
man,
slow.
Annihilus is falling right off. Like it used to be really something to be worried about, and now I haven't seen it in a long time. I think Sizer was doing that whole deck recently with it, but it's just not the kind of 5 cost I want to be playing these days.
Mm. Where do you rate it on the tier list?
Mediocre,
I
like
am a,
it has a niche. Like
I'm
it
inclined
does a
to
thing that nothing
I'm
else does.
inclined to agree. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think you can say Annie's bad, and I don't think Annie will be bad for pretty much as long as he exists, just because clogging is such a powerful effect. But it's just really slow. Like this card is incredibly slow. You're waiting until turn 5 and absolutely telegraphing all of your intent with Annie. Merlin is by far the better anti-clog card than Annihilus for your side of the board. And I don't
What
think
if
we
they
need to
made him a
talk.
4 cost?
You see, there you get a little bit. I don't know. Like I don't want to deal with that. I think at 4 cost, it's definitely a way better card. Probably it
Yeah.
goes up into strong,
Yeah.
but just like, yeah,
Like it's
not a
so
fan.
close to being good, but it just isn't there right now.
I don't know if I'd say it's close to being good. I think metagame context in the past year has evolved, or really in the past year and a half, has evolved from playing a game warping 5 drop to playing game warping 2s and 3s. stuff like in early 2025, stuff like IP, stuff like
Yeah.
Sam. Now stuff like Jocasta, stuff like Maverick. I guess we're getting right back to the Game Warp in 5 with Shu
I
Lao.
was gonna say I'm trying not
Yeah,
to laugh at the game
yeah.
warping 5 while we're in this meta game right
Well,
now.
we're in this meta game, but I do expect Shao to take a nerf. Hopefully, and we're recording this on at least in my time, January the 10th. So hopefully in 5 days he takes a nerf. I don't know, but all I'm saying is that guy is begging to be +2 because whoa.
Yeah.
And we're recording this also right after Snowball Showdown, a format that saw 11 of the top 16 and 2 of the top 2 decks be Shu Lao decks. So
Insane.
insane. Card is way overtuned. Best card in the game. One of the best cards they've ever released.
So you compare that to Annihilus, and you can see why we have Annihilus.
You can
solo.
see why Annihilus. Even if Annihilus is sending over a Void, in general, like, a Shu Lao proc on Maverick is still by proxy more points, which is crazy.
Insane. Too much. Yeah.
Insane. Astral Projection, I don't think we need to comment on this. This is a bad card.
Yeah. No, that's a quick, easy bad.
Do not buy. Card is bad. If you're wondering for a reason why it's bad, 3 costs. Okay, let's look at the high cost skills in the game. There is Adamantium Infusion, and I think that's it, right? Skills that cost more than
Yeah,
2.
everything else is like 2 or 1.
Yeah, Adamantium Infusion is a double.
Mm-hmm.
That is effectively filling the same niche as Phoenix Force, which was already a decent card. So you tell me why this isn't really working when going 1 cost higher allows you to double, whereas this just allows you to get non-reveal without a body. This is not very strong.
The only good thing I've seen Astral Projection do is like good for like clips for Twitter or YouTube.
Like that's it.
Like,
That's it.
You're not using it in an actual gameplay.
Yeah. Awesome Andy. Pretty awesome card in my opinion. I'm almost at mastery for him, and we'll get to your mastery card later. I think it's decent. I've played a ton of Andy. He is the 3rd or 4th, with Shao Lao now, the 4th best activate payoff in the game because Scarlet Spider jumped quite a lot of tiers.
Yeah.
But yes, in the traditional Jocasta Surfer deck, this was 2nd only to Omega Sentinel in terms of, or 3rd to Omega Sentinel and Maverick as like the activates that you want to use. He is a very good card at extracting a lot of value from your 2-drop. I mean, this guy plays for what is he getting? 5 procs. He plays for 222. That's really strong. This guy is just a 2/6 pretty much all the time. He's extremely solid. He's just he's a role player. I think he's one of the top ones in decent, but he's just a role player and he does a good job.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with Andy myself. I defer to like you guys about with like stuff like that, but he is definitely one of the cards if you're doing this kind of like activate stuff, then taking advantage of that. Well, with Shu Lao now, I'm not sure we're going to be going this way, but after Shu Lao is gone, then Andy's something that fits in those kind of styles.
All right. Batroc. I think Batroc's a must buy, and I don't think that one's really arguable. He's a core piece to the Hydra Stomper deck, which is probably one of the 5 best decks in the entire game. He gets to 1/8 regularly. He's been a mainstay in the meta ever since his release back in April. So, yeah, released the same day as Hydra Stomper and has been inseparable with him since day 1.
Yeah, definitely made for that. Like even though it moves when your opponent moves stuff, and that can mess you up a little bit, I still don't think it detracts from how good it is.
Just a +2 scaling on a 1-cost card. There's a reason why there's not many of those around, and I think Batroc is the only one. I'm pretty sure that scales.
I think
by
Nebula's
+2.
still +2.
Nebula, yes, Nebula. And you tell me what condition is easier to
When's
fulfill.
the last time you saw Nebula though?
Yeah. All right, Beta Ray Bill.
I want
do
this
you
to be good.
Yeah.
I think he's decent, but I think it's probably like
You see, I think we're kind of coping there a little bit. I think he's mediocre. I think he's worse than those. I think he's worse than both of the cards in mediocre. By the way.
Yeah, probably.
He's worse than Airwalker.
Here's the thing.
Airwalker's got a
Here's the
legit
thing.
deck.
Yeah, I can't argue that. was gonna say
And he's got a
like
legit
okay,
deck.
Beta Ray is a doubler that we have not taken advantage of. And we see, yeah, you see, every doubler always comes back in this game,
Hey,
and I think eventually, like, okay, so hear
look,
me
we're
out here.
getting a card next.
There's
You're the data mine guy. We're getting a card next
yeah,
month that's really good with Beta
that's what I was
Ray.
just about to say. I was just about to say. So Mega's coming out next month makes me think that there could be something cooking here,
Hmm.
but for now, I will follow you and go in mediocre.
Can you tell us what
I
Magus
might
does
like
as well?
he might even be near the end of mediocre.
I think he's at the bottom. Can you tell us what Magus does for those that don't know?
Yeah, so Magus is a I believe it's 3/5
Three
with
five.
an
Yep.
activate that says when you it pulls it no actually hold on, let me I don't have the text in front of me, but
Well, the
basically what it does is it takes
basically
a card from your deck and it like uses its ability equal to the cost of unspent energy you have.
yes. So, for
So
example,
the
if
idea
you
is to spend all your energy and then use Magus to copy one of your zero costs.
yep. The other idea is you play Magus and you don't get the draw that you want, and then you skip turn 4, activate Magus, and you play Mr. Negative. That sounds awesome, right? Love it.
Your coping card
Black
with Magus.
Black Knight. I'm sorry. It's
He
just
fell
bad.
hard, man. He fell
He
hard.
was
I
he
used
was
to
good
like
when
Dark
Agatha
Knight.
was good, but right now it's just not enough points. Tommy is the like mega Black Knight one trick. He doesn't play Black Knight anymore. That's how bad it's gotten. It's really not good. I actually saw him on Black Knight earlier today, and I 8-cubed him. I felt bad. I was playing Shulao Surfer. It was unfortunate. But yeah, Black Knight's just not a very good card anymore. And it's sad because it's a cool card, but it's just not very good. Blob. See, I also think Blob's bad.
I think Blob is in serious need of like a buff. I think it's been a long time since Blob has been playable, and I think you're right on bad.
I think he needs to go to 15 again. I think we're at
How
a
bad
point
would it
with
be if he? How bad
Aerochum.
would it be if you went all the way back to taking the whole deck?
He would be the best card in the game. Like unequivocally.
Like would that?
He would be the best
What's
card in
that?
the game unequivocally.
Oh, okay.
So, what I actually, this is an aside here. I ranked the best cards in Marvel Snap history recently. Because people were talking about Shallow Lao as like a top 10 card of all time. And I'm like, there's no way Shallow Lao is one of the 10 best cards ever released in this game. And this is a quick aside here. But I am interested in what you think of this 11. I set apart 11 as what I think were the best 11 cards ever released.
All right.
It's a quick aside, but you know what? It's good content. Love it.
Yeah.
+3 Silver Surfer. 3/0 +3 Silver Surfer. Shuri that doubled anywhere. The 611 Thanos from 2020, from like very early 2023.
Yeah.
Like right after the 3-point buff. That card. Copy all leader. 5/8 pull everything arrow. 3/2 -2 Zabu. 3/5 hand Loki. 6/5 destroy all Eliath. 2/2 +3 Elsa Bloodstone. 6/4 merge all Blob. Release Erisham. I think those are unequivocally the 11 strongest cards ever released. And then I had a whole tier below that as well that I can get into. But
Was
that might be-
Spider-Man in that tier below it?
No, Spider-Man was not. The tier below it was Agent Venom, Surtur, Galacta, Galactus, Iron Patriot, Sam Wilson, Professor X, and Shulao.
Oh, all the fair ones like that we've had like last year and the okay, I getcha.
All the OP cards more recently. I put no card from 2025 or 2026 for right now at least in the undisputed 11. I was looking and I looked at this for a solid like 20 minutes and I couldn't think of one card in that bottom list that I could make an argument for was better than any card in the top 11.
I think you're right. The only one I'm struggling to kind of place was like old Spider-Man, the one that stop your
The
opponent from playing
4/3.
any cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
I
don't
think
know if
that
there's
was
any that I'd
strong.
bump.
The one that I was thinking about bumping was Galactus. The 6/3 destroy all if it was alone.
Well, I think that was like they were a combo together, right? The idea was that you were
They were a
blocking and
combo
locking play.
together, but I think the Galactus had a lot of that power.
Yeah,
So, yeah. All right. Aside done. Blob needs something, man. Cannonball. I don't think Cannonball's a must buy anymore. At 5/8 he was.
I think
Now
he's
I
a
don't think
strong
so.
card.
I
Yeah.
agree. Still one of the strong, still part of the most efficient removal package in the entire game. He's got, well, just straight up Seaball Mercury's decent because Mercury's a decent card at baseline. At 3/4 that can move. And I think Merc Ball is a little bit underplayed right now, low key, with all the activate stuff going around. But in general,
I think, yeah, I think Cannonball still has good days in front of it.
yes.
I was trying to think off of data mine stuff that we've seen. Nothing comes to mind that's coming up that would like make it any better. But
Mhm.
it's one of those things that when the metagame shifts or a single buff and nerf can really change why we want to play this card. As long as
Mhm.
Mercury's around, we're always going to have a reason to jam this.
Correct. Yep. I agree completely. Chameleon. Well, it's going in one of two tiers, but I think its relevance in some decks, like some alternate builds of C3 and Splat Surfer, are enough to save it and put it in mediocre. Because I low-key
It
think it's a
surprised
better
me
card than
actually.
Beta
I
Ray
thought
Bill.
no, I would put in mediocre too. It's actually thought better than I thought it was going to be when it released. I thought this was going to be like a total mess, but people found uses for it and like good uses, not cope.
Yeah, I think it's a quite a decent card. I think there's better days in front of it though, based on it being just a copy.
Yeah,
Cobra.
I want to put this right in bad unless you can really
Yeah.
convince me otherwise.
Look, it's bad. I don't think it's that far off Bill. I'm not gonna lie. it, it
I,
it's probably one of the best in bad, just because there is some like argument for like, oh, this is kind of decent removal, but then again, no. I'd rather just
I
play
think we could play
better.
better removal than Cobra.
Correct. We can play something like a Merc Ball, or even a Shang,
Yeah.
or a Shadow King, or something like that.
Yeah.
Corvus.
Ooh,
He's got a deck.
Corvus.
Fin Fang Foom's coming out.
He's got a good deck. Like I mean, yeah, he's got a good deck. I would put him in strong. Actually,
I agree.
Like
I
if you
think
want to
he's
play
a strong
Hela,
card.
then you have to have Corvus.
He's the number one card in that deck. He's the first card that goes in. He's the most
Yeah.
important card in the deck, and he is a really good enabler.
Mhm.
Yeah, not much I can say about Corvus. If you want to play Hela, get him. If you don't want to play Hela, you don't need him. Call. How the mighty have fallen. This guy used to be S tier. This guy used to be the best 4 in the game when
They have done
he
everything
came
they
out.
can to make sure you don't want to play this card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's bad.
yeah.
It's how the mighty have fallen. This guy used to be in everything, and now he's just completely outclassed. It's crazy.
I got some cope for you. I got some cope. Okay,
What's the
so
cope? I want to hear it.
some future cope. All right. You know the rock stuff coming up.
Yes, I do
Ozymandias
know all the
and
rock stuff.
Sandstorm.
Yep.
Okay. So rocks are one cost.
Okay.
There's my cope.
The actual deck that I'm excited for Ozymandias in is Super Giant.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to play a 2/8 and a 3/13 now in that deck with Sandstorm for your ones. Super Giant wants ones. Seems pretty good to me.
Getcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Dawkin. Dawkin's strong.
Oh,
He's
Easy.
he's a doubler. And he is a doubler that had his partner in crime released in early 2025, about a year ago now, in Bullseye.
Mhm.
You don't play one without the other. Dawkin's a strong card. He's not a must buy by any means, but I think he's definitely strong.
Yeah, he's proven
And
himself.
Danger. I think Danger's mediocre.
Okay, good, because I had nothing for Danger. I'm glad I was gonna defer to you on that one because that's not an
Yeah,
activate that I've played much of.
I played a little bit of it when she came out. It was okay, but there was a deck running around, I believe from Ika, where it was a kind of like a Madam Web Danger thing, I think. Or it was just a
Yeah.
destroy deck with like Fenris and all them, and Danger was one of them, and Danger was pretty good there. I've lost a few games to it. I can say that much. Darkhawk.
Decent,
I
actually. Like
agree.
I
I
think
think
as
I
long as
think
there's gonna be Airsham decks, you're always gonna have see this sort of pop in and out.
mhm. I think the other thing that I think is the more logical reason why it's indecent is okay. Let's compare Annihilus the card to Darkhawk the card. Let's not
Mhm.
compare the decks because Annihilus was like one of the first cards that I want to cut from the Sentry deck because
Yeah.
Merlin's just way better.
Yeah.
Darkhawk has more effective disruption. It's got more stats on average. It can afford to run more stuff. It can't afford to run Sentry, which is a downside, but there's a reason why every single season at least one decent Darkhawk deck pops up.
Yeah. He doesn't
That's all
really
I
have
can
a
say.
replacement. Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cord. Anything else to say?
Top
Another one of the
right up.
arguably best one costs in the game. This is really
Uh,
the must buy.
y-
It is tech. It is one cost tech. You can put it in whatever deck you want. It's got zero
Use this
opportunity
until
cost.
they nerf it.
Yep. My guess is eventually, in time, this will be nerfed to 2 cost. But
Mhm.
for right now, it's keeping a lot of the strongest cards in the game in check, and it only costs 1. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Elsa. Speak of how the mighty have fallen. We just mentioned Elsa is one of the 11 best cards ever on release. 2/2 plus 3 Elsa. 3/5 plus 2 Elsa.
Yeah, that's a
Not
bad card.
good. Here's an interesting
Scaling has come
question.
a long way. Yeah.
If Elsa went to a 3/3 plus 3, what do you think about that?
3/3 plus 3.
3/3 plus 3.
I'm into 3/3 plus 3. I think I'd play 3/2 plus 3, to be honest.
I
Like
think,
plus 3 scaling is
yeah,
big. And not
it's
just
really
because
good.
of like, oh, plus 3 is always good. Like specifically what Elsa does, I think
Hmm.
plus 3 is really good.
So at 2/2 plus 3, it is still way too strong. Like, that's
2
crazy.
2, yeah. Yeah. No, 3
At
2.
3, at the 3 cost line, I think that's a card you can print.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd honestly begin to start to argue Elsa in the tier below instead of the top 11 cards, but I still think that you can't argue 6/3 Galactus over the Elsa. But that aside, will probably end up being a whole nother video later this month. Yeah, Elsa's a bad card. Fanfei. Not much to say.
No, yeah.
No. The Series 4 cards are very hit or miss, if you cannot tell already. They are either really good, which is a lot of the recent ones, by the way, or really bad. Really no in-betweens.
Yeah.
Fantasticar. It has a deck, but I don't know why they
Mediocre.
made this a 4/5.
I think they could buff this again and it'd be
I
fine.
think they can make it a 4/7 again, and it's a decent card. End of turn
Yeah.
needs it. It's getting straight up outclassed now.
I don't think this was the problem card in end of turn.
No, it wasn't. The problem was Invisible Woman for steps, which they hit.
Yeah. So
It's a
I don't know
3/3.
why this needed to be hit too.
Yes, I think Fantastic Art can safely go back to a 4/7. I think that's a very fine card. Fire Lord. Anything to add?
Well, could it be mediocre? Is there room for
Okay.
like this revival stuff? But like,
So
I feel like
So the best revival deck in the game right now is Jet Zombies.
yeah,
Where does Fire Lord go in that
it
deck?
does not go in there at all. Yeah.
The second best revival
Yeah.
deck is Nimrod. Where does that go in this deck? Where does Fire Lord go? Nowhere.
Harlow needs some help. Jeez.
Yeah, this card. Realistically, it needs to cost 3. But, yeah. This
Yeah,
card
we know
needs to
what
be like a.
for though. They wanted to do it with Airwalker as a pair, but neither of
It's
them
never
kind of.
gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gladiator. Another talk of how the mighty have fallen. This used to be one of the best 3 drops in the entire game. Now I think
This
it
used to
can
be
be no
everywhere.
better. Now it can be no better than mediocre, I think.
There's
I mean,
too
look,
much good stuff that's too big. Yeah.
right now is probably one of the best times to be playing Gladiator. You are hitting a ton of good hits,
Mhm.
and no one's playing him.
Yeah.
The room for generic threes has gotten squeezed out so much based on the generic twos. Stuff like Merlin and IP costs 1 less and has about as much, if not more, impact than a generic 3.
Yeah.
So everyone's just gonna run the generic 2. Gorgon. I mean, Gorgon's really good right now.
This is
But I
interesting.
gotta
If you had asked me a week ago, this would be a completely different conversation to where we're talking about right now.
I think we're talking about mediocre still,
Really,
unfortunately.
I was gonna put him in decent.
So the main reason I'm saying mediocre is because it only hits one thing. And while that one thing to hit is really, really good, might be catching a nerf. We'll say.
I can count 2 things. It hits Merlin. It hits Prowler. Let's go.
It does hit Prowler. It just
Yeah.
puts the Prowler skills back to 1. Which isn't the highest impact thing in the world, I think. Because those decks typically have a lot of extra energy anyways.
Yeah.
I think Gorgon is at the top of mediocre, but I don't put it on the same level as an Awesome Andy or a Darkhawk.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, Grandmaster, on the other hand, I do. I think this is a decent card.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
Yeah.
it's really particularly strong, but it does play its role very well when it's time for it.
It's got good bounce applications. It can be good in just a deck where you're looking to repeat 1 on reveal. I'm surprised there's been no Shoutouts with Grandmaster. But yeah, in general, I think Grandmaster is a decent card. It took him 3 points of power to be this way. But yeah, pretty decent card. I remember this guy releasing as a 2-0.
Yeah, that was
Whoa.
wild. I can't believe they tried that. That did not work.
And you know what? He was the most hyped card that season by far. People thought that guy was going to be OP.
I remember people going off about Grandmaster. What do you think if Grandmaster was a spell? If like
Worse.
a 2-0.
Worse. Way worse. You need the body. We learned that lesson. We learned the lesson. The guy needs some power, man. Alright, so now we're going to tackle Hellion. Hellion, one of the best 5s in the game. One of the strongest cards in the game. One of the reasons why Stomper is so good. S tier. Must buy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that here too. I was thinking strong, but I think if you're playing a move, like you need to consider Hellion, and if it's not going in, you need to have a really good reason why not.
I think any move deck should be playing this guy. It's one-sided cloak on a 5/8 body. It's as strong as it sounds.
Yeah.
Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey's decent. He's good in bounce. He's good in splat surfer.
Yeah, it's had better days, but it's pretty good now. It's all right.
He obviously he's one of the best cards in the game when he released. There's been he got nerfed to 3 cost, and you know what? He's still fulfilling his niche quite well. I think he is still a decent card. Hydro Man. Okay, so this guy was printed to be an Electro Ramp card. However, he ran into a little problem called 5/9 War Machine. In the sense that allows you to run Ebony Maw, which removes the need for you needing a 1 cost. Mediocre.
Yeah. I was excited about Hydro Man, but then like a couple OTAs happened, and it doesn't really need to do what it's doing.
Correct. The being able to, because Ramp wants a 1 cost as a curve filler. Hydro Man used to provide that. No, he doesn't. He used to be indecent. Now he's just mediocre. And the mighty have fallen even further. A lot of these cards are just old classics gone terrible. Iron Lad used to be one of the best cards in the game. How is this bad?
My best season performance was with Iron Lad. I would use it to copy Prof X like a turn early.
That's evil. Uh,
That's how long ago this card
yeah.
was good.
I love this guy in Patriot. Used to play it all the time. Jennifer Kale is a mediocre card. One of the best in this tier, by the way. Probably, looking at it, probably the best of the second
Sure?
best. Yeah.
Um, I could see it being decent.
I can see it as well, being decent. But I think the problem is, like, it gets used in so few decks, and it's like the 12th card in all those decks.
Yeah.
So
But when it does work, like
it's
it's
like
really
Chameleon.
fulfilling what
It's
it's
like a
supposed to
better
be.
Chameleon, if you get what I mean. Like, it's one of the last cards in its deck. When it does its role, it's really good. But in general, it's just kind of like, I'd rather run something else.
Yeah, okay.
Eitri. Now, this is a card I do think is decent. It's got good use in Agamotto. He's got good use with the hammers, with your favorite Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, I think this card is straight up decent. It's 1/2 draw for decks that need it.
Yeah.
Lasher.
This one I like. I like Lasher.
I like him in mediocre
he's
tier.
pretty- I think-
Ooh, it's a party there.
Yeah. I think he might actually be decent.
I don't think he...
Like, I think he's good for Cerebro.
C2 isn't a real deck anymore, man. That deck got every single one of its tools nerfed to 3/4.
Do we think we're not exploring Shulao with Lasher enough?
No. Scarlet Spider is better because it affects multiple lanes.
Way better. Yeah, way better. But as as a number 2
No.
option.
Because my number 2 option is Maverick.
Oh,
Because Maverick already buffed the Scarlet Spider on option 1. And if he didn't already buff it,
Yeah.
then he's getting buffed by Show. Next up, Laufey. Mediocre.
yeah,
Yeah.
mediocre.
He just doesn't see as much play anymore. He's just too small.
He just doesn't do anything distinctive. Like, he's just afflicting stuff. But like, there's a lot of other things that afflict stuff.
Yep, I concur. Legion. I think he's a must
This guy
buy.
goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is
Yeah.
this guy's
Yeah.
the best location tech in the entire game. He's one of the most impactful 5 costs you can ever play. This guy is just incredible.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody to live for the Legion scams because it is a thrilling experience. I will say.
Probably one of the best purchases you could
Yes.
make these days.
One of the best Series 4 cards you can buy. Just straight up. Loki is next on the tier list. Loki is a bad card.
I'm glad to see this low. I hate Loki.
But not quite as bad as our next card. Mad Thinker, everybody. Mad Thinker goes in stinker tier. Clap it up for that joke, everyone. He's very bad. He's mad as well, but he's very bad first of all.
Absolutely no use for him really at all. I don't want to clog my hand that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
not for that kind of like payoff.
Yeah. We're just gonna put him in bad for now so the tier list looks nice. But yeah, he is probably one of the worst cards in the entire game. Majestic Wingbeat, on the other hand, I think is a strong card.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh
I think right now everyone is too focused on Shulao with this, but I think we're gonna find that this has better uses later.
I think we're already finding it. I think it's Galacti. This getting a -1/+2 to Galacti is really, really strong. Because all of a sudden you don't need the magic. If you have Superior Spider-Man, you can use an extra 1 and Galacti. So you can play 2 cards. Seems very strong. And Galacti. And it also pretty good with Shulao.
Yep.
Man Thing.
Hold on, before we
Alright.
go on,
I'll keep him here for a second.
I didn't the voice was all warbly again, like
Okay.
the whole thing with Majestic Wingbeat.
So Riverside records locally. I think the warbly
Okay.
stuff is just your internet doing not, or just it not syncing well. Because at least for me recording
Okay. All
locally,
right.
I'm having no issues with how Riverside's picking up
Okay.
all my
Then we're
audio.
okay. Then all right. Then no worries.
Yeah.
Then sorry about
If it
that.
gets like really, really bad, you can say it. Like, if it's like horrible and you really think it's affecting it, but in general, no. Riverside, just that recording
No, as
locally
long
is
as it
good.
like, I just don't want you to
Yeah,
find when you're going
that
to
would
do this
suck a
later
lot.
that
Yeah.
yeah.
Now on to
But
yeah,
no, I got it. You were talking about Zombie Galactic. Like I was
yeah.
able to follow along.
All right.
We're all good.
Now on to Man
Yeah.
Thing. Man Thing is a mediocre card. I think he
Yeah.
just falls in the same vein as Laufey.
I think Man Thing needs some help. I think the Affliction strategy needs some help, and I think that help is getting rid of Luke Cage.
Ooh, I don't know about getting rid. I
Well,
think
like
making
make
him
him a lot
targeted.
worse.
Maybe Luke
Making
only
Man Thing
works on your front. Maybe Luke only works on your front row cards to really screw over Phantom X.
Oh, see, I would do
Make
the
him only
opposite.
affect
I
your
would
back
make
row.
him like Captain Carter. Yeah, so like he's the guy in front protecting everyone
That
behind
works
him.
too. Yeah, that could do it. Yeah, that's good flavor. There we go. Marrow. Now this is a card that I was personally excited for, but I didn't think would be good. It is good, and it's a strong card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Afflicting -7 for free is really good. Also, if you bring this back with Morgan and afflict another -7, it's really funny. What's even funnier, if you get it to work 3 times in one game, which I did do, it was awesome.
I really like this as a pair with Gambit, where like you're already destroying something and then everything else is getting -7. Like that's just great.
Great stuff right there. And I think Mercury just goes into decent card as well.
Yeah, I would. It used to be good.
Used to be a must
strong.
buy.
I think it's okay. Yeah,
At
exactly.
2/2,
But they
it was a
made
must
sure
buy.
by changing it that it wouldn't.
At 3/4, it was a strong card when move was still around, and then post torch nerf, it's just decent. It's still efficient removal with Cannonball, and it's still a 3/4 that moves and provides effective counterplay against Stomper. But in general, I mean, it's just decent. Like, it's not great.
Yeah.
Meek. Not much to say other than he's a bad card. He goes in no decks, and he hasn't gone in a deck in a long, long time.
I don't even think this card still wants him. I think they have other things
to
now.
do. Moleman.
Yeah.
Maybe Ozymandias will save this guy. But for right now,
Maybe. I think there are better ways to get rocks than
He's
Mole
bad.
Man, though. Even in that
correct.
post
He's
world.
too high of a risk for too little of a reward, is the problem.
Yeah.
Now we go to Miss Marvel. And it really
That
hurts
hurts.
me, but I think it's mediocre. I don't think it's bad. It's got enough homes in C5. I think Tribunal with Miss Marvel is still an underplayed deck. I think it's a mediocre card.
I remember when this was. I remember when this was the menace.
It was,
Like, it was Miss
for
Marvel
1 point.
everywhere.
It was a very low point ceiling meta because everybody was running Zabu Tech, and she was the biggest beneficiary because she was the points. It wasn't the nerfs that killed to Miss Marvel that killed her. It was the nerf to Zabu. That's what did it.
Yeah. Just the complete shift of how the game is played.
Correct. And now we're talking about Nick Scratch, who I think has fought his way out of the bad tier and into the mediocre tier. We're back, Nicholas Scratch fans.
Hey, he was in a top cut
He
deck
was.
today.
He is legitimately a solid like 1/6 to 1/7 in the decks he's in. So, hey, it's no mad thinker. He has successfully fought his way out of the bad cards and into the mediocre cards. And keep on fighting, because it is a cool card, but yeah.
So what does Nick Scratch need to get him to be like Batroc?
+2.
Because they're pretty similar.
When you play this
That's it,
skill,
that's it.
no,
You just-
it's the first skill you play this turn, this gets +2 power. He's Batroc.
Yeah.
Omega Sentinel is a strong card. It is the number one Jocasta merchant in the entire game, because without Jocasta, this card is mediocre. But with Jocasta existing, this is a strong card. It is one of the best abuses of Jocasta. We recently had a top player in the game, Stefan, come back, and he played a lot to get all the way up back to Infinite. And he's played a little post-Infinite too. And he identified Jocasta as one of the strongest cards in the entire game. Omega Sentinel is really living off of that. And I also agree that Jocasta is one of the strongest in the game as well.
I think Omega Sentinel is underplayed. I don't think enough people understand how good this is.
It afflicts its interaction with your opponent's board. A lot of people are too focused on building up their own board, which I mean with Shao, like that's a very fair thing to do. But yeah, Omega Sentinel is a very underrated card. Now let's talk about Fastos. Ooh. He's the king, man. He's the king of mediocre.
I think he's good exactly there.
The
just
menace
in
of mediocrity.
In fact, I would have put him in bad, except the release of Zombie Galacti has kind of given him a little niche where he goes in there. But even there, he's not
always
amazing.
But I mean,
yeah.
Look at the cards in bad. Fastos is better than all those. And I don't really think it's close.
So I remember when Fastos was coming out, my very first like card review was the season of the Celestial of the Eternals, and the entire like casual audience was like, "This is gonna be the best card of the season." And guess what else came out that season?
Athena.
Arisham.
Yeah, I was very high on Fastos when he released, and then I started to get good at the game. I did play Fastos I did play Fastos quite a bit. I enjoy him. I still enjoy him to this day. I think he's a pretty cool card. Phoenix Force. Adamantium released, and now this is mediocre. Yeah.
Oh man, we keep seeing so many casualties of like things that gotten so much worse than they
Phoenix
used to be.
Force used to be really good. Back in the days where it was just a 6-card package, you could slam into any deck. You just slam Multiple Man, Carnage, Venom, Ghost Spider, Phoenix Force, and Deathlock. And that was it.
Yeah. It had its niche of like being the only thing that did this, and now there's so many better ways to revive something. Like we talked about Adamantium earlier. That's what killed this card.
And Pixie's mid. It's a mid card. Not much I can say. People aren't playing the Pixie deck in a meta where there's 0 Mobius. That should tell you a lot. This card is straight up mid.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do we think it comes back with like
with the Foom?
So there's all these shoe decks. No, well, yes, with the Foom. But I was thinking the shoe decks right now play like either like Wasp or Yellow Jacket, so it has the zeros in there. It has all these ones.
I don't think so.
You don't need to trick it and make like a one cost like shoe. There's no need, eh?
Shoe actually fits rather nicely at 5 because with Scarlet Spider it costs 4 and Maverick costs 3, and that's a lot of like good sequencing numbers. Yeah. I with the Foom, the Pixie deck could come back.
Yeah, that Foom is gonna be.
I'm so excited. Ravona is a strong card. Not a must buy, but definitely a strong card. It's got a lot of cheap energy discount. 2/2s. Look, it's not a good stat line, but it's a fair stat line. Yeah. Not much I can really say. Redshift.
No, if you want to play negative, you need it.
Redshift's decent. Agatha getting the nerf she did, which was it really hurt this guy. This guy used to be in strong. This guy used to be one of the top cards in strong. But as the meta has progressed, it has gotten less and less strong. Maybe with the Foom, we'll start to see a Hela deck come all the way back, but I kind of doubt it.
He had his very specific niche, and it worked good when Agatha had 14 power, but now that she doesn't, there's other options.
Agreed. Sasquatch is decent as well.
I think this gets better soon, but yeah, I think
It's a
decent
fine card.
works.
Sebastian Shaw, baby, Sebastian Shaw. I am going to put this in bad, and this is a little Snap Academy thing based on how I evaluate stuff. The number one thing that you can do to tell if a Surfer deck is good or not is to look and see if it has these three cards: Magic, Viv Vision, and Sebastian Shaw. If it is one of the three, even just one, it is a bad deck. Except if it's Splat Surfer. That's the only exception. The one exception to the rule is that deck specifically. Because that deck has Magic. Other than that, it's a bad deck. Shaw is a bad card. He had one niche, and he got overruled as soon as Maverick released. He's a terrible card.
I would even say it was when Captain Carter released. Like,
he had a niche.
The whole point of Sebastian Shaw was to be like the big guy, and
yeah.
Carter made everything else the big guy.
The main thing, Shaw was good in the Activate Surfer deck because you could put him alone in the lane and Andy would proc him a lot. But that deck is Maverick now, so that deck is doing Maverick things, and not Shaw things. It's doing Brood now.
Yeah.
All right. Silver Surfer First Steps, I think is decent. I think this is one of the most underplayed cards in the game, for what it's worth.
Yeah, I don't see this enough. I think this is a good card, but decent is where it's going to be right now.
I think we'll see with time if this will go up, but in general, I do believe this to be a strong card. Scar, mediocre, I think, at this point. I mean, it still sees play, mainly in Hella now.
It sees play. I think it's going to lose its niche real quick when Foom comes.
But, I mean, just discount, it's still decent. It's still 5/12 most of the time anyways. Fairly fine card.
Yeah, mediocre's fine for it.
Adaptoid. Too narrow.
What does it need? Need more stats?
It needs to be a 2 cost.
Oh, I like that.
It needs to be a 2/2.
I like that.
If it's a 2/2, it's a lot easier to fit in decks. Because it's so narrow that I think a 2 cost that's actually fine. And then in like a year, when they have a substantial amount of in like a year or two, when they have a substantial amount of activates, they can move this back to a 3/5. But right now, I think a 2/2 is where this card needs to be.
Yeah, like right now, we're in a meta with Maverick and Scarlet Spider, and we're not playing this guy. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, exactly. And we're not playing this. So,
look, there's an issue with the card at that point. It's not doing its job. Super Giant is a unequivocally strong card. The question is this a must buy? I don't think so.
Super Giant is a very, very specific kind of tech card. And a lot of people aren't going to think it's a tech card because it doesn't explicitly do like anything like tech cards do. But the fact that you're shutting down a whole turn messes up with sequencing in a way that nothing else really does. But I don't think it's a must buy.
I think it's kind of on the fringe of is it a tech card. I would say it is the best tech enabler in the entire game. Every single Wiccan tech player should instead be playing Super Giant tech because it is a lot better at actually doing the thing. Yeah, this is a strong card. I don't think it's a must-buy because it is a very, very distinct and weird play pattern. Very few players are elite at Super Giant. And you need to put in time if you want to be elite. But when this card is good, if you're elite at it, you can realistically do like top 8 at every single tournament. Like, this card is
it definitely teaches you different things about how the game
I would
works.
encourage you to play Super Giant if you have not, because it is a very cool deck. That's the bare minimum. Next up, Tyrax. Strong. This is a hot take. Tyrax is a strong card. He's the only reason Darkhawk's playable.
Okay, so does that not mean he's decent if he's in the same, like he makes a decent card playable?
He makes a decent card playable, so he's in strong. That's my thing. I think this is also an underexplored card. Like, this card is just can be a if you have Prio, this is a 3/4 shuffle 3 rocks. That's so good.
Mhm.
You're breaking one draw, likely two. I think it's one of the coolest design cards in the game, and I also think it's a really strong card.
I think it's underexplored, like you say. Like I think a lot of people look at it and think of it exactly only a Dark Hawk card, but and are not really focusing on the disruption that it gives. So yeah, I can see it being strong. I think it needs to prove itself a little bit more,
Yeah.
but I see where you're
I think
going
at
with it.
3/3 it was decent. I think at 3/4 it's strong. Like to me,
Yeah, I'll take that.
3/4 isn't great stats, but I can
Not
play a
right now,
3/4 and not feel horrible about it. I can't play a 3/3, and if it's only like effectively giving me net +1 rock, I kind of feel bad about it. But the thing is, the entire deck is built so it's that it's gonna shuffle to 3. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
Now let's talk about the first Ghost Rider, who I think has earned his spot, just like Nicholas Scratch. He punched up enough at 2/7. This guy is finally mediocre.
I got excited when he got buffed recently. What was it, a month ago? A
Probably
month or
like two
two.
now.
Yeah, but not much has really gone on with him then.
There was one deck.
I want
There
this
was
to be
one
good.
deck I liked. It was the Cougar Man Spider deck. That this.
Oh,
guy
I
really
remember that.
passed.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
This guy's still playing some Ducking decks as well. I think at 2/7, this guy's a little bit too big to ignore and put in the same realm as all those cards in the unplayable tier. But
yeah.
I do think he's mediocre. I think he's towards the bottom. But I think he's better than Beta Ray at least. If you can't tell, I want Beta Ray to be good. But wow, is he hard to make work.
We want a lot of these cards to be good. Just to be clear,
Yes.
we're not trying to roast anybody here. We want them to be better, but
Okay.
they're just not.
Let's rank these three in the same vein. Hunger, Zombie Giant Man, and Zombie Sentry. Zombie Sentry is going in bad card. He's just not played in any Horde decks. Those are his only decks. I haven't seen a Zombie Sentry since the wiki came out. Okay. Now let's talk about these two. Because these two are going into at least strong. Is Zombies a must-buy? Yes or no?
Okay, so like what was it? 3 days ago, which is Ages and Snap time, but Zombies and Shu Lao were hand in hand.
Yes.
Like you were playing the deck together. Like they were a deck together. It was the Zombie and Dragon deck, and it was rocking. And then everyone discovered Scarlet Spider. But I think that these two cards are still really good. I think the Zombie deck is here to stay, even with Shadow King around. Like the proven stuff with like Zombie, Scarlet Witch, and Absman. Like I think this makes this deck really good.
So would you call it a must-buy?
I would call. I'm gonna go on record. I'm gonna say yes.
I
I'm gonna
agree.
say they should
I
be a
think
must-buy.
it's too strong.
Okay.
I think it's a really good mid-range package. And I think if you want to play a mid-range deck, like a classic mid-range deck, Zombies is the only deck with the
Yeah.
actual points to output it. I think Joaquin Torres becoming a very real card in the past month or so
That's really
has
helped
really
it.
helped it.
That's
because
really helped.
Hunger really
Yeah.
wants Torres. And what other cards want Torres? Prowler wants Torres. That's a really good card. It's a lot easier to justify Zombies in more decks.
Majestic Wingbeat also wants
Correct.
Torres.
Tribunal is mediocre, and it pains me to say it. He's not bad, but I hate it. I love Tribunal. I'm a big Tribunal fan. I did an interview with Hella Enjoyer all about Tribunal. You can go check that video out. It still rings true. But, yeah. He's just...
No, he's good for just like if you want to hit that stupidly high number and be like, look at what I did. I made a 10 billion lane number across all three lanes. But other than that, like there's that ongoing deck that still pops up every once in a while. But I feel like that's kind of one of like the when you're going from like a beginner into Snap into like the more intermediate stuff, you kind of still use that ongoing. But then there are other packages that you eventually grow into.
Yeah. A lot of... what I think is... Look, this is something else. For newer Snap players, I think the archetype you should invest into is Activate. Like, I think you should be investing into that stuff. I think that stuff's really, really strong. There's also a lot fewer players actually experimenting with a lot of the Activate cards in the game. Like, for months. Like, pretty much from Jocasta's release until literally Xiaolao's release, or Shulao's release, I was the only person experimenting with Jocasta in decks outside of End of Turn. I was the only person in Top Infinite doing it. And look, it paid dividends. It discovered a tier 1 deck. There's a lot of exploration left to do. There's a lot of strong Activate cards.
Yeah, I don't think it's like you say. I don't think anyone's really doing it. I even remember like you'll post decks every once in a while, and I'll be like, oh, like I don't really see like why the Activate stuff is here. But no, like they're doing something different that no one else is really doing. And so when you're doing something that people can't account for, the math isn't easy. It's not like, oh yeah, I recognize this play pattern. It's no, I'm doing something different.
I think you should experiment and Activate, and I think we're getting some new objective cards soon as well that you definitely know about. When we get a payoff similar to Jocasta for those decks, I think that's also something that might be worth exploring. Topaz
100%.
and Toxie are both bad cards.
Yeah, bad.
Don't get them. Now it's your guy. The only in the world,
Okay.
Mastery 30, Uncle Ben. It's August.
That's
so
right. Nobody
I'll let
else.
you
Nobody
fully
else.
take away this spot on the tier list. You pick.
Okay, so this is a mediocre
Okay.
card, but it acts like it's so much better. When Scream decks were still a thing, this was good. I know I've seen a lot of cope with like Dormammu as like the place to use this guy because you'll destroy something but still keep something on the board. I don't think it's enough to put it in decent. I think it might get better one day, but I don't know what that day is.
See, I was going to put it in decent. I think it's a decent card.
I can't.
I really like this guy in Morgan. I really just... I hate playing Morgan without him. I really value Disruption.
I was playing that deck earlier
Yeah.
too.
But
I think like with the like
Yeah.
Marrow and all that stuff, like I was liking it. It gave me an excuse to
But
play
if
bad.
the
bad-
Uncle Ben guy says it's mediocre, it's got to be in mediocre.
Yeah,
Valentine
It's
is a strong
mediocre.
card, though. Yeah. Second best two, or arguable second best 2-cost generator in the game. I think with all the V-Hand nerfs that did happen, I think I would put it over Mirage now. Obviously, it's still worse than IP, but in general, this is a strong card. You get a lot of cube equity out of it because it is random, and yeah, nothing much else to say. Valentine is a strong card.
I hadn't thought about it in V hand yet. That's a good idea.
Well, I think with Objective Gambit coming soon, this card will see a
Okay,
lot more play.
that
Card's
one's
gonna-
that one's gonna be
nasty.
tough, man. That's
Uh,
I think I've got so many Gambit decks already going.
yeah. Wade Wilson. This guy is the new Nicholas
like a cat,
Scratch,
right?
man. He's trying to punch up, but he's not quite there yet. He can be a deck thinner in Morgan, but there's a reason why the best Morgan deck in the game does not have him.
Yeah.
Web Sling. I thought this card was going to be decent. I was very wrong. This card's terrible.
I want it to be
I
better.
don't. I hate moves.
I like the idea of it. I like move when it's not, doubling and tripling all over the board. I like it when it's just like moving around one or two things, and I think like Web Swing could move one key thing once, but it's just not how it's still working out.
Werewolf. Clearly a must buy. Arguably the best card on this list. I think it's Werewolf, Agony, or Cord is the best card here. What a card. Phenomenal.
This card has had such a journey.
It has.
This card has been the most OP thing ever. This card has been forgotten in collections. This card has been just mid. This card has
The whole
been
journey was
but
crazy.
and then it's good again.
At when it released, it was like one of the 3 best cards in the entire game.
Yeah.
Then it got nerfed to 3-1, and it was still one of the best cards in the entire game. Then it got nerfed to 4-4, and it was actually still decent at 4-4 in the deck with the anti-bounce, with Beast and all that stuff, because Beast was still a 3-5 permanent discount at that time. And then
Yeah.
when Beast got nerfed to the temporary discount of 2-2, which was a side grade at that time, but it was a nerf, that's when this card died. And he didn't see play until he got brought back. And then he got brought back to 3, and he still didn't see play until Merlin released. And then since Merlin released in July, and now we're in January, we've had 6 months of the Wolf meta.
See, even then, like I don't think that's percolated down enough either because like I feel like Werewolf has only been like good to like a lot of other people in the last couple months. Like not I wouldn't even say July. I'd say like the zombie stuff is where it like came back again, I think. But that's the difference between like the top meta players and like
I
other
also think
people,
there was a
right?
lot of Mercury before the zombie season, so that was curving it a lot.
Yes.
X-23 is a decent card. It is a very solid card, and it is really the only thing making Destroy a playable deck. Which it is. Destroy's a playable deck now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
it's a decent card.
You could do a lot worse than play
Yes,
Destroy.
you can do a lot,
Like you could
worse.
still
You
you
can
could
still be,
still take Destroy.
yeah, you can still be playing
Yeah.
Patriot. Zombie Power Man, I think, is mediocre. He goes in classic discard, and that's really about it.
Yeah.
And that's our tier list.
Okay, that's the
So,
list. Jesus, I thought there'd be a lot more in decent than we ended up with.
yeah, I think what we can see here is that Series 4, for the most part, is pretty terrible. Yeah. There is some really, really good cards. Like, I think the must-buy list is about the same as it was for Series 5.
Yeah.
Less, but around the same. I think there was 11 in the Series 5 tier list. There's only 8 here. But there's still, like, some must-buy cards. It's just a lot of
They're
them are
really
mediocre
good
and bad.
8, though.
So, what lesson should you take from this, viewer? Don't open Series 4 packs. The seasonal ones aren't bad, though. Like, Chord's in there. Wing Beat's there. Marrow's there. The seasonal ones aren't bad.
I think they've been making an effort to make the new Series 4 cards better. Like they want you to feel like, okay, here's like an extra card to buy this season that's actually worth buying. The ones that you get in the game mode, not usually. They're kind of just like all right. But yeah, no, I think like you said, packs for Series 4, not something to spend the tokens on. Look for the exact ones you need. Don't go buying a random Series 4 pack and hoping you get something good.
100% agree. That's going to be it for us. Again, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this tier list. And I believe comments should be on this time. I don't know what really happened last time with it turned off. Don't know. And make sure to go check out August at August Turn Zero on YouTube. And make sure to read his stuff on Snap.fan. This is coming out on a Sunday. He will be interviewing the Snowball Showdown winner shortly after.
Right. Yep. No. That interview comes out on Monday. I actually just got that queued up before we started recording. But yeah, that's going to be on Monday, and we'll be able to hear from the showdown winner, his thoughts on his final matches and his deck
All
composition.
right. That's going to be it for us, and we will see you all next time. Peace.